The calendar said, season over, but cycling doesn't believe in endings. On Sunday, October 19th, while most riders had already packed their bikes and the peloton dissolved into winter rest, something unusual came alive in the heart of the Pyrenees. A new event, a new idea, a new spectacle, the Andorra Cycling Masters 2025. A celebration disguised as a race, where the world's greatest came together one last time before the curtain fell. Tadej Pogacar, Jonas Vingegaard, Primoz Roglic and Isaac del Toro. 4 riders, 4 symbols of an era that has redefined modern cycling. Andorra, land of altitude, silence and legend, was the perfect stage. There were no jerseys to win, no UCI points, no classifications. Just pride, rivalry and the promise of one final showdown. The streets of Andorra la Vella overflowed with fans. Flags waved, cameras flashed, and the crowd buzzed with anticipation. They knew what was about to happen wasn't a mere exhibition. When these 4 meet, competition is instinctive. The fire burns too bright to fake. Pogacar, smiling as always, waved at the fans. Roglic, calm and calculating, barely blinked. Vingegaard adjusted his helmet in silence, eyes set on the road, and just behind them, the youngest, Isaac del Toro, looked ahead with quiet focus, as if he'd been born for this moment. The format was simple, an 8.3-kilometre uphill time trial up the Col de la Gallina, followed by a city circuit the next day. No teams, no tactics, no excuses, just the man, the mountain, and the truth. It was cycling stripped to its essence, a final pure test before the season gave way to winter. The crowd grew silent as the riders lined up at the start. Cameras zoomed in, heart rates climbed, and the sound of cleats clipping into pedals signalled that the final battle of the year had begun. It started quietly. The road tilted upward, and the mountain waited, patient, merciless. Isaac del Toro was the first to set off. The young Mexican pedalled with a rhythm that was both powerful and poetic, the kind of effort that makes fans hold their breath. He wasn't here for prize money or headlines. He was here to measure himself against greatness. Behind him, Roglic rolled out next. Expressionless, precise, every movement engineered to perfection. Then came Vingegaard, the silent assassin of the Alps, followed by Pogacar, the smiling storm that never stops attacking. The Col de la Gallina is no ordinary climb. It's steep, narrow, and deceptive, a wall that demands honesty from everyone who dares to climb it. Each rider battled his own demons, the fans shouting names as they appeared one by one through the fog. Roglic looked composed, his cadence smooth and relentless. Pogacar danced on the pedals, turning pain into rhythm. Vingegaard, methodical as ever, found his own pace, eyes locked on the summit. And then there was Del Toro, fighting not just gravity, but expectation. His face was a portrait of grit, the jaw clenched, the eyes wide, the determination unmistakable. He attacked every corner as if it were the last. By the halfway point, the whispers in the crowd began. He's flying. At the summit, the finish line came into view through the mist. Roglic stopped the clock at 25 minutes and 39 seconds, a masterpiece of control. Pogacar followed, 20 seconds slower, his smile replaced by exhaustion. Del Toro arrived moments later, 28:05, third on provisional time. The numbers told one story, Roglic fastest, Pogacar second, but the emotion told another. The crowd had found their hero in the 21-year-old from Ensenada. His effort wasn't just strong, it was fearless. In a field of Grand Tour winners, the rookie had proven he belonged among them. Morning returned to Andorra la Vella, and with it, a new kind of tension. The time trial had crowned Roglic as leader, but the city circuit promised chaos, 32 kilometres of speed, corners, and pride. The streets were lined hours before the start. Families, flags, horns, and endless excitement. For a nation used to seeing its roads as mountain passes, this felt different, like a festival on wheels. The riders gathered at the start ramp. No teams, no radios, no script. Just 4 men who know how to win. Roglic, confident after his victory on the Gallina, looked calm. Pogacar, smiling, ready to improvise. Vingegaard, stoic as stone. And Isaac del Toro, the youngest of them all, carrying the energy of the crowd like a spark ready to ignite. The flag dropped. The four launched together. No waiting, no warm-up. Within a few laps, the pace was brutal. Fans shouted their names from balconies, phones filming every second. Then it happened. Del Toro attacked. Out of nowhere, the Mexican surged forward, standing on the pedals, leaving even the veterans blinking. The crowd erupted. Pogacar chased, laughing as he accelerated. Roglic waited, always patient, and Vingegaard followed like a shadow. For a moment, Andorra felt like a Grand Tour stage compressed into a city block. Roglic countered, Pogacar smiled, Vingegaard closed the gap, and Del Toro, fearless, impulsive, did it again. He wanted to test them, to remind the world that courage still has a place in cycling. Halfway through the race, the group came back together, breathing hard, the crowd roaring louder with each pass. Del Toro had already won something intangible: respect. In a field of champions, he wasn't just participating, he was dictating the rhythm. As the laps wound down, it was clear. Andorra was witnessing more than an exhibition. It was watching four philosophies collide: the strategist, the artist, the machine, and the dreamer. Final lap. The noise in Andorra la Vella was deafening. The tension in the air, electric. 4 riders, 1 finish line, and nothing left to hide. Roglic still led the overall standings, but pride, not points, was on the line. The pace was vicious. Pogacar on one side, Vingegaard in the middle, Roglic controlling, and Del Toro glowing with determination, refusing to back off. 3 laps from the finish, he went again. Another attack, another explosion of cheers. The Mexican launched himself forward, chasing nothing but instinct. The others reacted instantly. Roglic on the wheel, Pogacar laughing as he countered, Vingegaard holding steady. For a few glorious seconds, the 4 were side by side, pushing at the edge of possibility. On the final bend, Roglic accelerated, the master of timing showing why he's the king of control. Pogacar dived into his slipstream, Vingegaard tried to come around the outside, and then, like lightning, Isaac del Toro appeared. He didn't calculate, he believed. Out of pure instinct, he threw his bike forward, heart over science. Roglic, Del Toro. Roglic, Del Toro. The finish line flashed. The crowd screamed. A photo finish decided it. Isaac del Toro by half a wheel. Victory for the youngest, the outsider, the new blood. Roglic raised his hand in respect. Pogacar grinned. Vingegaard nodded. The Mexican had just beaten 3 Grand Tour champions in a race that wasn't supposed to matter, but somehow did. Roglic still took the overall win thanks to his time trial margin, but that detail faded in the noise. The crowd wasn't chanting Roglic. It was chanting Del Toro. The boy from Ensenada had written his own ending. As the sun set behind the Pyrenees, the Andorra Cycling Masters 2025 became more than an exhibition. It became a prophecy. What started as a friendly post-season event had turned into something deeper, a glimpse into cycling's next chapter. 4 riders, 4 philosophies, 4 eras colliding on one road. Pogacar, the artist of chaos. Vingegaard, the machine of precision. Roglic, the chess player of power. And Isaac del Toro, the spark, unpredictable, young, alive. The event reminded everyone why cycling is more than sport. It's emotion, instinct, and courage stitched together by suffering. Del Toro's victory was symbolic, not the triumph of youth over experience, but of heart over caution. He didn't win because he was stronger. He won because he dared. In that fearless attack, fans saw the essence of why they fell in love with cycling in the first place. Andorra, small and silent under the mountains, had become the stage for something unforgettable. The crowd left with goosebumps, with videos and memories, but also with a certainty that the sport's future had just revealed its face. Del Toro didn't just cross a finish line. He crossed into legends territory. The Mexican Little Bull reminded everyone that even in a world of data, power meters, and control, there's still room for chaos, risk, and passion. As the lights of Andorra faded, one truth remained clear. The season may have ended, but a new era had just begun, and its heartbeat sounded a lot like Isaac del Toro.